Hello everyone, welcome to Fantasy Recaps Family. Today we're going to see a horror film from 2006 titled Unrest. Spoilers ahead, watch out and take care. The film opens in a mental asylum. Dr. Alita Kovas, who is the leader of an archaeological team, is now becoming mentally imbalanced. She smiles weirdly and breaks the mirror and tears her face with a mirror piece. The next scene opens in a hospital, which teaches anatomy. A young medical student named Allison is entering into the hospital. She got admission and also got a room in the hospital for her accommodation. She finds her room and relaxes there. Two hospital workers, Malcolm and Ivan, are shipping a young girl's cadaver, which came from Brazil, to the research room. It seems the girl donated her body to science when she was alive. She looked very pale and freaky. There were so many facial cuts. They took the body to the storage room and put her in a glass preservation container with other dead bodies. Malcolm went to wash his face and Ivan went out. While washing his face, Malcolm hears a strange sound. He thought it was Ivan, but a blood droplet dropped onto his face from the ceiling, and the scene cuts here. On the next scene, all the students who got admission in the hospital arrived there. Dr. Blackwell welcomed them. All the students felt uncomfortable because of the smell of the dead bodies. Blackwell said students can access the lab anytime and gave them the access code. After giving the introduction speech, Blackwell asked them to split into 5 groups. Allison joined with 3 boys named Brian, Rick, and Carlos. They introduced each other. Each of the groups got their own cadaver for learning. Blackwell said they can do their dissection anytime they wish and said he will be available during class hours, and went away. Rick uncovered their cadaver, and everyone got a little bit scared to see its appearance. It's the same body we saw in the beginning. Rick named it Norma. The cuts and damages in Norma developed an unpleasant feeling for Allison. She puked and went unconscious. Blackwell helped her to recover and motivated her to attend the class. Allison asked him about Norma's details. Blackwell said he didn't know, and said all the cadavers are coming from at least 500 miles away. Inspecting Norma's body, Allison and her group finds she killed herself, and she was a prostitute and also had a child. Rick asked Allison to begin the dissection. She dissected Norma's body from throat to stomach. After the class was over, Allison went to sleep. The whole hospital looked dark and she had a creepy nightmare. The next day, Brian, Rick, and Carlos already began to dissect Norma. Allison asked them why they didn't call her. Rick said they couldn't reach her since she didn't have a cell phone. They dissected her body and began to remove her internal organs. Allison said she still gets weird feelings and covered Norma's face. After finishing the class, Allison said she feels like dead bodies are watching her. Carlos said maybe their souls are watching her and said dead bodies and souls don't separate until they are properly buried. After discussing some philosophical facts, they returned to their class. Allison found a cloth with the word "help" written in blood. They thought it was made by Rick. Suddenly, Rick's fiancée, Jennifer, arrived there. Rick said she came to see Norma. Carlos said it's wrong to play with dead bodies. He said if they disrespect the body, it will enrage its soul. Rick and Jennifer laughed at him and went to the lab to see Norma. Rick uncovered Norma's body and showed her internal organs. Jennifer touched her, and it felt warm. Rick was surprised since all dead bodies should be cool. Suddenly, Jennifer felt like Norma was breathing and got scared and ran out of the lab. Rick said it's just air forced out from the lungs and comforted her. Then Rick went inside the lab to cover Norma. While he came out, he saw Jennifer lying on the ground without a pulse. Rick tried to give CPR, but she died. In the next scene, Allison woke up at midnight. She was not able to stop thinking about Norma. She called Brian through a landline phone and said about it. Brian asked her to forget about Norma and asked her to sleep well. It seems Allison is developing a crush on Brian. She went to the hospital's record room to find out about Norma. She found her photo with a number and tried to track down her place, but it didn't help. Brian asked her to stop finding the personal details of Norma or else she would be kicked out of the school. But Allison is stubborn to find out about Norma. To change her mind, Brian asked her out on a date. Allison refused and asked him to buy dinner for her. Both of them liked each other and had funny conversations. In the next class, Dr. Blackwell asked the students to dissect each part of the body. He came to Allison's group and said Rick is no longer in the class, and asked them to continue their dissection without him. Allison and Brian asked why. Blackwell said his fiancée died and Rick is not feeling good. Allison went to see Rick with some flowers. Rick looked so sad and he told them what happened. He said Jennifer bled out and died. Allison went to see Dr. Carolyn, the head of the hospital, and shared her feelings about Norma. She said she can feel her spirit. Carolyn said it's normal for a medical student to feel like that while working on a dead body and tried to convince her. Allison asked, is there any explanation for that? Carolyn said the human mind is too primitive to answer some questions. In the next scene, Ivan is cleaning all the dead bodies in the lab. While cleaning Norma, he felt something wrong. Suddenly, Allison arrived there, and Ivan got scared. Allison asked where Norma came from. Ivan said she came from Brazil. Allison asked whether anyone knew about her. Ivan said Malcolm knows and said he was missing. Brian tried to help Allison to find out about Norma. Both of them went to the lab and searched for anything that could help them. Brian said he also believes in spirits. They opened the preservation tank and inserted a pole to see what's inside. The pole got stuck inside. To take the pole out, Allison and Brian put their hands inside the tank. The water is so cold. They found a dead body inside the tank with clothes. They thought it may be a murder and called the police. The police came and opened the tank. The body is Ivan. Allison says that the deaths of Jennifer and Ivan may be connected. Police questioned who Jennifer is. Blackwell said it's just a coincidence and said Jennifer died of a stroke. Police asked Blackwell, Allison, and Brian to give their fingerprints. Blackwell asked Allison and Brian to meet him in his office. Allison and Brian went there. Blackwell asked them what they were doing in the preservation tank. Allison said she felt something in the lab and searched in the preservation tank. Blackwell questioned what it was. Allison said she can feel Norma's spirit. Blackwell said it was nonsense and asked her to act like a scientist. Police investigated Rick whether he killed Jennifer. Rick doesn't answer and he looks weird. Allison took a shower and went to her room. Brian went to take a shower as well. The lights turned off automatically. Brian said the whole hospital is creepy and went to Allison's room. Allison asked him whether he was thinking of sleeping with her. Brian said he is thinking whether she will go outside so that he can change the dress. Allison said she's not going anywhere and asked him to change the dress. Both of them felt romantic. They started to kiss each other and they had sex. Allison went to the restroom to freshen up. Suddenly, she heard a strange noise. She thought it was Brian and went to see what happened. She was shocked and freaked out. She found Malcolm's dead body on the other side of the bathroom. Brian came there and comforted her. They saw a monkey-like drawing drawn on the wall with blood. Allison went to Dr. Carolyn and said spirits are trying to say something to her. Carolyn said she believes in spirits, but she said it's not real. Allison said Norma wants something and she needs to figure it out before Norma kills her. They went to Dr. Blackwell and asked about the dead bodies. Blackwell said he doesn't believe in supernatural things. Carolyn asked about the police investigation. Blackwell said they found a fingerprint of Dr. Alida Kovas from Brazil in the murder spot. Allison said Norma is also from Brazil. She found some articles about Dr. Alida from Google. Since it is in Portuguese language, Brian asked Carlos to translate them. Carlos said he is not interested in this. Allison said 3 people who touched Norma already died and said they may be next. By hearing this, Carlos promised to help. In the next class, Dr. Blackwell replaced Norma and gave a new dead body to Allison's group. Allison thanked him. Carlos said he read the article. Dr. Alida was a murderer and said she killed the victim during sex. Allison asked what is the connection between Dr. Alida and Norma. Carlos said Alida is Norma. They found some old recorded clips of Alida. She was an archaeologist, then she became a prostitute, then she became mentally imbalanced, and then she killed herself. She also sensed spirits like Allison. Allison said this to Carolyn. Carolyn said it may be schizophrenia. Allison went to meet Rick to know exactly what they did with Norma before Jennifer died. She thought something should enrage her spirit. But Rick lost his control and bites Allison's hand. Brian gave stitches to the wound. Then they spent their night together in Allison's room. Their door was automatically closed. Brian opened the door and saw the same monkey-like blood drawing in their door. Carlos figured that the drawing represents one of the Aztec gods. While he was researching about the god in the library, he saw a text, "You're next," and he was killed by an unknown person. Allison and Brian were shocked to find out that Carlos is dead. They Googled about Dr. Alida Kovas and Aztec gods and found an article. While she was in the archaeological team, Dr. Alida Kovas uncovered 50,000 dead bodies, which was given as a sacrifice to the Aztec god, the god of fertility and prostitution. Then she found Alida sacrificed her own child and became a prostitute. Allison realized what happened. She said if a dead body was distributed, a soul was enraged. Likewise, Alida had enraged 50,000 souls and it corrupted her. In the next scene, Rick became mentally imbalanced. He wrote a letter for Allison and killed himself. Allison went to see Rick and saw the letter. The letter said, "You're next." Allison freaked out and began to run. Brian said the spirits will only stay with the body, but Dr. Blackwell already got rid of Norma. Now Allison realized Dr. Blackwell didn't dispose of Norma. They went to check the preservation tank. Like they thought Norma was kept inside the tank. Brian went inside to take her out, but he got stuck inside the chemicals. Allison also jumped into the tank. Both of them got stuck inside and the lid closed automatically. All electrical appliances began to burst out. Allison and Brian managed to open the lid from inside and escaped the tank with Norma's body. Brian went unconscious. He had some cuts in his back. Allison shouted out for help. Dr. Blackwell came there and helped them. Allison thought the only way to stop Alida's spirit was to destroy the body. She threw all the body pieces into an incineration tube and burnt them, and said, "Rest in peace, bitch." In the next scene, Allison went to see Brian. He's still alive, but has many scars on his body. Allison said his scars are sexy. Brian laughed. Allison said she quit medical school and said they need to go to Brazil to bury Alida's ashes in Aztec God's field to rest her soul. Brian said he also needs a vacation. They went to Brazil, where Dr. Alida uncovered 50,000 bodies and spread Alida's ashes there. Allison thought the soul will remain with the ashes. But in reality, the soul remained in the place where the body was burned, in the hospital, while Dr. Blackwell invites the new students inside the lab's door is closing automatically with a creepy music symbolizing Alida is still in there. And the movie ends here. Much thanks for watching, guys. If you liked this video, please consider subscribing to our channel. I'll see you in the next one. Till then, take care.